Welcome to Baramag Interviews. This is your host, Leonardo Calcano.
Hello, my name is Julie Fowler, and I'm the Executive and Artistic Director for Island Mountain Arts and the Arts Walls Festival in Wells, British Columbia, which is in the central interior of the province. So, up a little ways from Vancouver, about 8 hours north.
Eight
And
hours north?
yeah, in
Okay.
a small community of about 250 people, which was built in the 1930s as a gold mining town. And just down the road from Wells, like 8 kilometers down the road, is Barkerville, which is a historic gold rush town from the 1860s, which back in the 1860s at its height, there was upwards of, 20,000 people that passed through there for the gold mining. And so, yeah, there's this little town called Wells that we have all these beautiful spaces, like a beautiful old community hall, beautiful historic theater, and for our festival, we use the entire town as the festival site.
Okay.
And artists play in Barkerville as well, all acoustically in keeping with the 1860s feel of the place. So, yeah, it's a pretty unique place for a festival, and we are lucky that our community welcomes people in for the most part. There's always you really get to meet the community because the venues are our local pub, our local Legion, local little theater, and over the course of the weekend we have close to 300 performances and events. And
So how many people go to your events?
What?
How many people go to
We
your
get
events?
about 3,000 people to Wells. Yeah, and it's this year, we're going into our 15th year in 2018, so we've been building it slowly. It's been, to get people to travel all that way is, it's taken time to build, but we have a nice loyal audience now that come from all over the place. Like, we have obviously people coming from locally from the region, but lots of people travel from
Seattle, I guess, something like that.
yeah, Vancouver, Victoria, even we seem to have a loyal contingent from Winnipeg. It's
Okay.
interesting just the group that's connected, and we're really big on community, and we actually have returning artists, which is sort of a unique thing. Most festivals, they only will have the same artist once, and then, they won't bring them back the next year, where we have some artists that have come for the last 12 years or
Every year.
Every year. Well, one in particular also runs our kids songwriting program, which we do in the lead up to the festival. So we have, this past year we had 29 kids under the age of 18, and in the course of 4 days they wrote 25 songs, and so it's quite a process that they've gotten it down to get these kids writing songs, and then they record them, and then they also perform at the festival, which is kind of fun. But yeah, so we've it's been, the artists have actually helped us build the festival. Like, in the early days, they were the critical mass of the festival. There was even more artists than festival goers, and now we've kind of, now we actually have more festival goers than artists, and but still there's a great community feel to it, and it's a little bit of a family reunion vibe every year with so many artists that have come over the years, or artists that have been there a few years back and they come back, and the neat part of that is the audience and the peers of each of the artists get to see the development of an artist too, because we do have a lot of emerging artists that play, so it's kind of neat to see the evolution of an artist over time. Actually, Jody Peck, who is here and will be performing, I think tomorrow, or she might be tonight, I think it's tomorrow. She first played our festival in 2009, something like that, and so now it's really neat to come to an event like this and see her performing
And grow as an artist also.
Yeah, so I really love that. So developing those connections and that network, and I think that actually is a really big part of what festivals are important for, is people having that opportunity to have that shared experience, because that helps it gives you something to talk about with a random stranger. So when you're at a festival, you both go to this show that can be a really transformational experience through music, or maybe it's dance or theater, and then you're walking through the festival site. In our case, it's walking through the town, and you can start a conversation with someone and have that shared experience to talk about, and I think those moments where you can actually be in person with people. And our town also doesn't have cell service, so that's kind of a unique
There's no
aspect.
cell service.
Yeah. So you're really forced to break away from, your everyday and technology and kind of get back to just connecting with people face to face and in person and engaging in the music that you're seeing. And I think it'll be sort of a sad day when we get cell service in Wells, even though for practical purposes there's a lot of good things about having it. But that aspect of really disconnecting and having to
talk to people
is pretty neat. And I think festivals everywhere, I think that's one of the wonderful things. Like, if only the whole world was like a festival, where you are in this really good mood, you're being surrounded by the arts. And I think arts really does, there's not too many people that go to an arts event and then get really angry after. It's something that really feeds us in a deep way. And I think it's easy to undervalue that in our society. It is undervalued. The arts aren't seen as a really important thing a lot of the times, but I think it's actually one of the most important things that we can have in our world. It helps us remind us, what it's like to be human and to have that shared experience, and it really helps build community, and which I think we need more of in today's culture.
Excellent. How important is an event like this for you?
I think it's very important to be giving artists a chance to connect with more people. In Canada, we're so spread out, and there's big distances to cover, and there's so much talent. It really is amazing when you think of all the Canadian artists that, historically have, made up such a big part of Western culture and pop culture, and so giving chances for artists to connect with a wider audience is really important. I know for myself as a presenter, it's always great to meet other people and get to share ideas and knowledge. I'm always picking everybody's brain, like, what do you do about this? How do you do that? So it's really, it becomes a way to strengthen our sector, create more knowledge sharing opportunities, and then share the art and watch the art and be reminded, like, oh yeah, this is why we're in this business, is because we love the music and we love these artists. And sometimes that can get lost in these events too, because you're so in business mode, but yeah, it's pretty cool to meet your peers across the country. We certainly, as I said, being so spread out, we don't get that opportunity too often.
And we cannot give you a call neither.
Yeah, exactly. We do have internet,
Okay.
Mostly high speed, kind of high speed. Yeah, it's not all that high speed, but it's not dial up anymore, so that's nice. But yeah, it has its challenges being in those remote places. It also gets a lot of snow, which, you being from Montreal, you're used to that.
Yeah.
So
Sad part, that's my only exercise in the winter. It's snow.
Shoveling.
Oh, all the time. Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.